What up, y'all? This is your girl, Coach Nick with T on the beat, and we are now tuning in to yet another episode of the Spacious podcast, where transparency meets healing and faith meets mental health. And on today's episode, we are tapping into our series, Love Does Cost a Thing. And on this segment, we're talking about heal and build, uncompromising my peace. And on today's episode, we got yet another special guest right here. Y'all probably seen him before, and yet he back again, Mr. G.S. Remarkable, my dear friend Gregory.
Can you put like the hit the button so the round of applause come in and I just bow?
So extra.
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully we can put the sound effect so they can think a lot of people watching me.
Okay, let's get
but healed and build.
Let's get into the episode. See what I got to deal with. Anywho, here we are. So, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's the end of the week. I'm a little tired. It's one of those long weeks, you know.
You know, getting in the groove of everything.
Yeah. So but I'm used to this. I'm built for high performance.
For it tough.
High performance.
For it tough. Okay, all right. So on today's episode, I thought it was very important to just bring in a male to really talk about, love.
Man, gotta talk about love. I'm the right one to do it.
It's important to have a male's perspective. So many times, like, we hear the woman's side of things, but it's not so often that you hear the male side of things.
Y'all, I mean Derrick Jackson, but we gonna talk about that.
Okay, we're not talking about that on this podcast. We're not.
Y'all was listening, boy. Y'all was listening. Goodness gracious. I tell you, this is gonna be real though. This is gonna be real deal.
We want you to keep
it
real.
Finally. Let's get into it.
But let's get into it. As far as like healing and building, like, what's that journey been like for you thus far? Like,
as far as romantically, like, or with myself?
With yourself.
Oh,
like, we're
okay.
talking about you. We talking from.
Because I know it is February, right?
Yeah, it is.
All right, it's a month of love, and month of love. This is when a lot of y'all, start reaching for all kind of things. But we talking about love with ourselves. My process has been this is honestly my golden years. I would describe it as I know a lot of people try to put golden years on, like, when you older in age
or birthdays.
Yeah, this is my golden years, man. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now. And duly to the fact that I am so in love with my healing. And at a certain point, we got to stop saying the healing, because stuff don't take healing ain't a forever process.
No, it's not.
It's not a forever process. And I know a lot of times with the culture that we're in, we like to refer to like this healing as like, I'm still healing. You heal if you are healed.
If you are.
And that helps you understand what phase you are in it, because after healing it's other phases now. Because when something has healed, think about it, if you break your arm, right? I always got pictures to paint. I got pictures. You break your arm, right?
Yeah.
Your arm is healed, like you can move it again. Now the phase that you move into is building the strength back into it, right? So it's not necessarily healing no more, but you go through a process of strengthening it. And sometimes that's where we are. I think that I'm in that process. I think that I have healed from the things that I was healing from, and now I'm in a process of adding that strength back into it now. And after the strength, I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all know what's after that, but it's gonna be on to another phase from there. But the healing was definitely something that was needed.
Right. And what like, just as far as like, let's take it a little deeper. Like, what was that process like truly like for you? Because it's oftentimes, like, especially for men, they're not always vocal about, like, especially like that vulnerable side to themselves when it comes to healing. Like they feel like they gotta be Mr. Macho Man type deal. So how can a man like just keep his masculinity and still like heal at the same time?
I think that we have to, because I'll be the first one to tell you, like, I'm like I would describe it as the perfect blend of macho, masculine, but ultra vulnerable and emotional. Um, I know how to blend both of those real well. I'll meet women sometimes that I may not be as macho masculine for them, because that's not the that's not 100% of me, you know. But I think it starts with us really truly being ourselves, being comfortable with who we are. It starts there. Like take all the masculinity, take the macho, take all that out and take yourself down to the root of who you are and understand that.
Mm.
You know, that's where it starts at.
Yeah, being authentic.
Because the masculine sometimes is a front.
Oh, it is.
It's a front. It's like it's a mask.
It's a facade.
Yeah, it's like, let me throw this on because I want people to feel a certain way about me or think a certain way about me, or I want to, I want the woman to feel, and it's 98% of the time, it's because of women kind of like are the motivation behind why guys like position themselves how they do. But I'm the type, I was blessed with this gift of not caring what people think.
I was about to say that.
I don't care. I don't.
You don't care.
Like you can't. You can't, because
you can. You
it's
really
so.
can.
Once I was able to, I don't know what part of my life I was able to understand that people are so wishy washy. They're hot one day, they're cold the next, and if you're making a decision off of the temporary emotions of a human, you'll be lost. You'll be so lost.
Over there in the corner crying by yourself, don't even know
Yeah.
why you crying in the corner by yourself.
Yeah.
Like that is a real part of it, because I think that's such a vital thing, and why people, they are victims, or they fall into this space of just being a people pleaser, because they're so conscious about what other people are
thinking,
what they're going to think, what they're going to say, all of that at one time. And it's just like, when you're in a space where, especially, you're healing and you're growing and you're developing, you're discovering yourself, you can't be in a position of just like, I got to be conscious of what this person is going to think about me all the time. Yeah. Because you're going to find yourself at a roadblock. You're going to find yourself burnt out with yourself. And you're going to find yourself where you're just frustrated all the time. Yeah. And that's not a healthy place to be.
No, you'll find yourself extremely insecure. And you won't be able to, you won't be all that you wanted to, everything that you wanted to position yourself as. So the same people that you wanted to feel a certain way about you, you wanted them to think a certain way about you, those, you'll find yourself so lost with understanding who you truly are. But yeah.
Yeah. I know, even for myself, like before self love and all this started to become a big popular thing these days, I know I started my journey. It was back in, when is
96.
It wasn't in 96. It was actually back in 2017, 18-ish when I started that journey. And it was me just making a decision, like, I no longer wanted to be broken. I no longer wanted to be in a broken cycle with myself in the situation that I was putting myself in. And I had to come to that conclusion for myself. Yeah. I couldn't worry about what the other person was going to think or what they were going to say. But even in that process, it still was like that tug of war that was happening. It was still like me detoxifying myself from that people pleasing mechanism, because it's like you want, especially when you are a person that wants to be loved so bad, and it's just like,
I know you're right. You're right. How did you? Oh, this is your show. I can't be asking you questions.
I mean, you can ask questions.
Yeah.
Conversation.
So what turned that what made you not want to be a people pleaser?
What made me not want to be a people pleaser? I believe I was just in a place where I was just tired of allowing, giving other people control over me.
So the letdowns,
Yeah.
disappointments.
I was tired of that.
Yeah.
That wasn't working for me, especially for where I was going. Because then it was like I was falling victim to being manipulated.
Yeah.
But at that point, it's like it's no longer
self-inflicted manipulation.
Right, exactly. At that point, it's no longer manipulation from the outer, like the people. It was me causing self-inflicted manipulation.
Yeah. And see, mine was the total opposite. I wasn't quite a people pleaser. I was just so much into myself, like not that I was like this narcissist, but it was just like I didn't. It took a lot for a person to get on my "I care you" list. You know, it took a whole lot for that. And I had my people that I cared about, that was in that circle. Outside of that, I didn't care. I did not care. But that's also not one of the fruits of the spirit either. One of the fruits of the spirit is to love and to pour love on any and everybody that comes in contact with you. That God like love. So God had to work with me on that process. But yeah.
Yeah. And then another part of that is self-control. Self-control. Yeah. And just to go back to that manipulation piece, like when people that are still working through that people pleasing stage, it's just like when you fall victim to manipulation and then you go through the self-inflicted manipulation, it's like now you're trying to control other people and their emotions and what they think about you. And I believe that I was one of them people too. Trying to control people of how they felt about me.
That's an impossible mission right there.
That's an impossible mission. And then not only I was compromising my peace, but I was compromising their peace.
Compromising their peace. And that's one thing I don't do these days, is compromise the peace. Compromise the peace.
So what's your peace looking like right
now? My peace is my peace looks really good, and that's ultimately because my life is submitted. My life is submitted. Is every area of it. Not to say it clichely or in cliche, but every area of my life is submitted to God, from my business to my personal life to my love life. So I don't worry about nothing, and I don't even stick around in places where I feel a certain way. Where things that bring me anxiety, things that now is it now don't take this the wrong way, because a person may take this as far as they're able to cop out of tough situations or uncomfortable situations. Not that, because when you need to stand in the paint, especially as a man, when you need to stand in the paint, you need to stand in the paint and see it through. But for things that jeopardize your peace, um, and don't take a difficult conversation as jeopardizing your peace, or a problem in your life as jeopardizing your peace. That's not it. You have to stand in there and correct those things. But things that don't bring you joy, that's when you can't be any parts of it.
Yeah, that's important. Major key. Like you gotta figure out. I think in a practical way, it's just far as like understanding what you are not uncompromising your peace for. Like what? That's a boundary.
Exactly.
That's a boundary.
Boundaries that's a big one. When I learned about boundaries, that's when things changed. I built walls of Jericho.
Okay.
That's what I did. I built walls of Jericho.
Okay, boundaries are not walls of Jericho, y'all. Like that's not what boundaries
Cause
is.
man, I'm telling you, ain't
No,
nobody
because
about
then
to.
you
I know a wall and a boundary is a very thin line
it,
between those.
it's a very thin line,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that it has to be careful with because you don't want to build such boundaries that you block
Exactly.
yourself away from
Mm-hmm.
people, things, situation that can very much be a blessing.
Exactly. Exactly.
So me personally, I look at boundaries as a fence.
Mm-hmm.
The old school fence with the metal
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. Like, cause you can see through that fence.
Mm-hmm.
You have the option of opening that fence, allowing somebody in your yard,
Mm-hmm.
or you cannot let them in at all.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. Um, but ultimately, it's to keep lines from being crossed.
Right, exactly, and also to protect your peace
Protect your peace.
at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So now let me make sure I got this correct because are you still like going through your healing phase right now?
I think I'm in. I think I'm in a phase of the healing process. Only because one thing about life is gonna make you prove your growth.
Mm-hmm.
We can say I healed and I don't. Life is gonna bring up a situation. It's gonna bring up an emotion. It's gonna bring up a time where it's gonna make you really see where you are in your process. Um, and from me being in situations and scenarios that life has presented to me, I see that I may not have been as over something as I thought I was, or done with something as I thought I was done with it. Because life is the ultimate prover of what you say you've healed from or grown from. So, but I think I'm very far along from it. I know I was in church the other day, and Bishop had a feel. God put something on his heart, and he said, if it's some people in here going through depression, and there's some people, they have a heavy heart because of depression. I want them to come forward right now, and the people went that felt that way, and but life helping me see my growth because when I asked myself that question, I ultimately was like, no, you're good. Let them, people who need that, let them go over there. You're okay. And then I even second guess myself. Like, are you sure are you sure?
You sure you good?
Give me some proof why you not depressed. Are you not going through depression? And to myself, I'm like, well, I feel this way. And I feel this way. And I remember when I was going through depression, I felt this way. I don't feel that way no more. And I have this and I have that. So in that case, I won the prove to me that things are going the way you say that they're going. You know, but yeah, that was the first time I was presented to actually think about that like that because I had to ask myself because I was ready to go. Like anytime some hands getting laid, I'm like, let me see if I need some hands laid on me. But in that case, it was just like it was not it. It wasn't it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So the question that I have is, especially when it comes to like this love area and all this stuff, it's like
Love,
you gotta say
love,
that
love,
every time.
love, love.
Get it out. Get it out.
Love. All right, go ahead. Let's do it.
Anyway, so when it comes to this area of love and as far as like healing and everything like that, and you was talking about how you're going to be put that's going to your healing is going to be tested.
It's gonna be tested.
It's going to see like, are you really healed from this, or are you pump faking type deal? So with that being said, in those situations where your that part of you has been tested,
Mm-hmm.
and you see that, man, maybe I have not gotten over as much
Mm-hmm.
as I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
How does a person come into a place of like, this is a progression moment versus like, dang, I'm feeling defeated type deal? Because it's easy to go in that place of defeat
Mm-hmm.
when they react in a certain way to something.
You have to understand that you have to really understand life.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything's a process.
Yeah.
Everything is a process. Things don't just like things don't you don't just go from like night and day.
Right.
There's morning,
Mm-hmm.
there's dusk, there's all these things in between. And once you learn how to make peace with the fact that the process is a process, then you give yourself grace. And now that I talked with you about it, I see that once you've accepted the fact that God has given you grace,
Mm-hmm.
you give yourself grace.
Yes.
You know,
That's what it's about.
and once you give yourself that grace, then it's like, okay, I may, maybe I need to, pray on this a little more, or maybe I need to understand this a little more. I know me, I do a lot of journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know, I tell my friends, my male friends, guys that ask me for advice, and I tell them to journal, like write your stuff down,
Yeah.
get it out your head, because if you write it down, you put it on paper, you get a chance as you write. Writing is a conversation with yourself.
Yes.
Like, and once you're able to have a conversation with yourself, you're able to understand things at a certain pace. Um, so that's a big part of it. Like, yeah, write those emotions down, write those feelings down in your little girly diary. I'm just playing. It's a journal. It's a
With the
journal.
little locket on
Yeah, my joint.
there.
Yeah, my joint definitely got a locket on it. Like, if it ain't got no locket, then I can't rock with it because it's some
With the little
personal
key.
stuff.
Y'all remember back in the day you had the little locket with the
Man,
little key on
I
there?
don't need y'all in my. Hey, I actually my journals. I left them to my sister. I like if something happened to me, get these journals because I don't need TMZ running trying to post my feelings. Like, but yeah, write those emotions down, so that you can understand yourself better. Because that's definitely a part of the healing, part of the peace. Like what you need to be peaceful and healed. You talk to yourself about those things, and that's just what need to be done.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that is. So that's
Hmm.
one key thing that y'all can take away from here today is put it in a
Put it
journal.
in a journal.
And then also I believe it's very important to have a circle of people or someone that can actually support you through this journey. Like, we can't do this alone.
Hmm.
Like, we may be lonely, but we're not alone.
Yeah,
And I know a lot of times going through a healing process and a building process, it causes like many shifts to change. Like,
it's going to. You should plan on it. Um, you should plan on a roller coaster ride.
right, even down to the people that you hang around. Cause
Plan
I
on a
know
roller
that
coaster
was a
ride.
big thing for you too, as far as like your circle. It
Yeah,
changed up.
I changed up. It changed up. I was running with some winners, and then I started running with the all stars. So that was part of the process. But the thing about it is, naturally, evolution is natural. Evolution is natural. It's something that and I'm a big like nature junkie. So like I watch Discovery Channel, anything about the universe with Morgan Freeman narrating it. I'm watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just but it helps me because you gotta understand like a lot laws and principles that we live in are shown to us around
Yes,
us.
yes, it's in
Like
nature. Like,
it's in nature. Like simple things like someone can say, like uh if your life is storming, don't worry, the sun will soon show. And they right. You can
It
go
will.
outside at the next storm. Go outside, look at the rain hit your window, give it a little time, and watch how that sun come back out.
Especially if you live in Florida.
Especially if you live in Florida.
Because it's gonna be pouring down, raining, the clouds dark
Right.
whatever. Next thing you
Be a
know, the
beautiful
sun
summer
out.
day.
Like it never rained.
But nature shows us. So I was able, for me being so young, watching, absorbing all these natural phenomenons happen. I think I was able to understand that my life is part of this big cycle of things, and that um, I can see something in nature and relate that to my life, because everything has to abide by the same type of laws, you know.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. All right, I love it. So now we always gonna give practical tools at the end. So
Mm-hmm.
we gotta make sure that people got something to take away with them.
Yeah.
Like as far as like men that are healing right now, they getting to
Mm-hmm.
that next level of building. They out here, Bob the builders out
Mm-hmm.
here. They uncompromising their peace. Like what are some vital like key things that you would say? I think you said a couple of them, but if you want to throw out.
Yeah, one thing is gonna be get from around with people. Stop chasing these women. That'd be the first thing. And yeah, you probably this somebody is a guy right now.
You watching right now.
He writing her DM.
Women
probably,
too. Women, y'all is
stop
not
chasing.
excluded.
Yeah, stop jumping. And one thing I do see, I see this relationship hopping. You leave one relationship, you hurt deep down inside. You need to fill a void, so you jump into something else, and you just relationship hop. Only reason I can call that out because I was one who did that. I was the one who played that game, and seeing how it caused more harm than progression in my life. Um, but yeah, stop chasing these women. I'm talking to the guys. Stop chasing these women and
Stop
get by
chasing them
yourself.
men.
Get by yourself.
Yeah.
Get by yourself. Establish a spiritual life. Like it's no healing without a spiritual life.
It ain't.
We're not just physical beings. We don't that voice you hear in your head that you constantly talk to all day. That's not that you can't touch that. That's not something you can touch. That's a soul. That's a spirit. That's your soul, your spirit. And it's just like in with the gym. If you eat what you want to in your body, you don't work out, your body gonna get all sloppy and can't do nothing. Your spirit's the same way. If you don't feed it, if you don't work it out, it's not gonna be able to have the muscles it needs when you need it. Like I had loved ones pass away because when they needed their heart wasn't strong enough.
Yep.
When you need your spirit, if your spirit ain't strong enough, guess what's gonna happen? It's not gonna be good for you. So stop chasing these women, start writing down your feelings, and start building a spiritual life. I think you might be onto something. You might be like me one day.
Yes, and for my ladies,
Mm-hmm.
for y'all, I would say those same things as well. But I will also add like, be real with yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's so important of just like being real with where you are, um, especially like it's a lot of replications and copies out here, like that's just trying to do the same thing that thinks that's going to get them to where they want to be or get them to the next man or whatever the case may be. But I would say be real with yourself, be real with where you are at right now, and give yourself that time, that space to actually just be human for a change. A lot of you that are watching, you may be out here pursuing a degree, you may be a mother, you may be a business owner, all these things and above. And it's like, when do you have time to actually tap into yourself and understand what your needs, your wants and your desires are in this time? So just truly just being authentic with yourself, being honest with who you are, where you are, what is not working for you, what is working for you right now. That is so important. Especially with uncompromising your peace. For that person that feels like, if I stay stuck in this situation, I don't think I'm gonna get nothing when I leave this. That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. it's waiting for you, but are you
You're actually gonna be stronger.
You're gonna be stronger, but are you going to commit to the process? That's the thing. A lot of us, we want that microwave love, and it's like, no, it don't work like that. You have to commit to the process.
Got to.
So y'all, can you please? I know you probably told them 50 million times, but tell the people how they can stay connected.
Yeah, so if you want to go on Facebook, Instagram, you'll find me at GS Remarkable, all one word. You can find me there. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, jump over to my channel, Remarkable VI Studios. I have a podcast called Conversations with Creators where we just talk to creators, and this is the kicker. You're a creator. If you have a brain in your body and a heart in your chest, you are a creator. You have that God power to create. So, yeah, go check out Conversations with Creators. And if you just want to connect with my business, Remarkable VI Studios, that's capital V, capital I say VI Studios now because nobody knows what Roman numerals are. So it's really Remarkable 6 Studios. But it's okay. You know, Remarkable VI Studios, lock in with me. If you have a business, just check in because I can definitely help you grow.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all know who I am. I'm Coach Nick with T on the beat, and I am wrapping up yet another podcast episode. Make sure you stay connected, like, comment, and subscribe right here, right now. And also stay connected with us on Instagram, on social media. Find us at _Gracious Space and Spacious Podcast. And of course, you can stay connected with me, Coach Nick with T. And as always, show yourself some grace on this life journey because we're healing and building and
uncompromising our peace. We healing and building, uncompromising our peace.
All right, y'all. We out.